What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so there was some speculation that this was going to be a thing. I saw this actually a couple of days ago, but I wanted to wait until some confirmation set in, and now it's official. The Ringer, which is operated by Ben Simmons, announced today. Did I say Ben? I meant Bill Simmons. Excuse me, Bill Simmons. The Ringer, which is operated and ran by Bill Simmons, announced today that a new podcast produced by them is coming soon, and it's going to star none other than Rich Paul and Max Kellerman. And the speculation of that grew from a couple of days ago when Max Kellerman and Rich Paul were seen converse with one another. I think it was at a game, and this was after there was rumors that those two would be hooking up to do a show together. Now, of course, the thing that a lot of people are pointing out is, hey, this is Rich Paul. Okay, this is Rich Paul, who is best friends with LeBron James. This is Rich Paul, who is head of Clutch. And of course, if he's going to be doing a podcast with anybody, you can pretty much believe that there's not going to be any anti-LeBron slander on this program. I don't think that they have a name for it yet. I can think of a couple of names, but I don't think it's appropriate for this YouTube platform. But from what I understand, it's going to be airing 3 times a week. So you have that coming out, right? 3 times a week on top of the Mind the Game podcast, which LeBron James is still doing right now because he's not playing basketball. Matter of fact, I saw that there's going to be an episode of that airing tomorrow, I think, and it's going to have Steph Curry on there. So once again, whatever, man. I mean, what is it with these dudes, man? Like, can they work with some brothers? I mean, I get it. Steph is a brother, but you know what I'm trying to say, man. Can they work with brothers? I mean, you're married to a white woman. If LeBron was 10 or 15 years younger, he'd probably be married to a white woman his damn self. We know he loves the Canadian bunnies. Whatever, man. I'm not trying to make that the focal point of this video, but it's so glaring at this point, man. What these dudes are on, bro. They talk like they pro-black, but everything that they do is just counter to that. But anyway, we all know the deal with Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith. That's the other thing I want to point out. Max Kellerman used to be on ESPN. Max Kellerman used to be co-host on First Take. And everything was fine and dandy from what I could tell until that episode when he got into it. Well, Stephen A. Smith got into it with Terrell Owens. I think it was November or something like that, 2019. Either November or December 2019. And he just told Stephen A. what everybody had been observing at the time, that Max seems to be on the right side of issues when it comes to the black community, more so than you. And that's interesting considering that Max had every reason to be, I mean, if you look at what happened to his brother, when he was unalived by that deranged boxer, Max had every reason to become a junior Archie Bunker, but he didn't. Then all of a sudden, Stephen A. Smith basically gave the network ultimatum: it's either me or him. I don't want to work with him no more. All because you and your feelings because a brother gave him a shout out, and you make it sound like all of a sudden you can't work with him. You know. So what do? They know that you don't like Max Kellerman. They know that uh, Max Kellerman got under your skin because, really, to be honest with you, Max Kellerman was beating your ass when it comes to debate. Yes, Max could be a bit of a Kobe homer. Yes, Max could sometimes get your nerves with some of the things he opined about. But when it came to facts, figures, and logic, Max used to kick Stephen A's ass, and he know it. And he blacker than you. So what did Rich Paul do? He hires the guy that you can't stand. And Stephen A. Smith is absolutely quaking right now in anger. Matter of fact, you know what they should do? The very first show, they should have on there Terrell Owens. They should have the first guest be Terrell Owens. Yep. And then the next guest should be none other than Jasmine Crockett. Wow, man. So yeah, man, LeBron propaganda is going to be turned up. And of course, this is all, in my opinion, to counter Michael Jordan, the NBA on NBC, and to counter not just them, but a lot of the anti-LeBron slander that has ramped up on social media and on podcasts as LeBron James's power and influence in the NBA and in sports media begins to wane. We all know what this is about. Come on, man. We're not stupid. So Rich Paul, the insufferable one, the man who said that Jordan, if he got gold antlers, LeBron has platinum antlers. To which I said, goats don't have antlers. I said something a little bit worse before, but they were trying to get me for bullying. So, the big bad black Negro, I'm such a bully. So, they play into that trope. So I got to be careful with what I say on here. I got to be more respectful. Can't be so uppity. Oh my goodness, man! Only on social media. You got people that look like you flagging you using negative racial stereotypes against you, all for a dude that wouldn't even piss on them if they were on fire. But that's what being in the cult does. But anyway, I am out of here.